Welcome back, welcome back. Over the next few months, my next guest will be bringing out 2 albums, an autobiography, and embarking on a 49-date tour of Europe. The first of the albums is called Still So Far To Go. It's an album of his greatest hits, and it means he'll be adding to the 30 million albums he's already sold around the world. He is, of course, rock legend Chris Rea, whom I spoke to earlier. We'll hear from him in a moment after seeing him in action.
Well, I'm standing by a river, but the water doesn't flow. It boils with every poison you can think of. Between the eyes of love, I call your name. Behind those guarded walls, I used to go. I'll send you all my love, and every single step I take for you. Josephine.
The man himself is here. Chris, welcome.
Good evening.
Since in this period of the 2000s, you had a major battle with disease and nearly death, didn't you?
Yeah, 5 times actually, even as recent as last year. The worst one was 2001, where I lost my pancreas, duodenum, third my stomach, and 18 inches of colon. It was a 16-hour operation, 3 teams, and I'm one of the 34 survivors in the UK at the moment.
That's fantastic.
It certainly is.
And you're back. You're as fit as ever for all this performing.
Well, I'm fit, but I have to do 7 injections every day. I have to take between 38 and 48 pills every day. Different. 38
to 48. That's,
yeah.
God, you've got to remember which is which then. That was all caused by pancreas.
Losing the pancreas.
Losing the pancreas.
Yeah.
Which turned out to be a careless thing to do.
A very careless thing to do. And last year it was between the kidney and the bladder, so I spent all last summer with a pipe between my kidney and bladder, which was very uncomfortable. But we've taken care of that one as well. So.
But you're back on the road again.
Yes.
We just mentioned 49 dates in Europe, beginning with Moscow.
Moscow, yeah, the Kremlin.
The Kremlin.
The Kremlin, which is fantastic. The family are going to come out and give me moral support for that one.
Yeah.
They don't tend to think I need moral support for Belfast or Glasgow, but places like Paris and Moscow.
Yeah.
All the names that are on the aftershave bottles, they seem to think I need moral support.
Oh, very, very good. And in this, these are mainly your greatest hits. This particular one, isn't it?
So they tell me.
Which one sold the most?
I think The Road to Hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't planned that way at all. I actually have a fax at home in a frame from one of the heads of Warner Brothers, and it says Road to Hell ? Over my dead body. He's still alive, but yeah, they didn't want it to come out at all. I mean, they thought it was a dreadful title. They thought it was miserable lyrics. No one would be interested.
Yeah.
And at one point it was selling over 400,000 a week while I was laid in bed, you know.
Fantastic. So you didn't need to do anything more.
Yeah.
And I just read things saying you're one of the world's greatest slide guitarists. And I thought to myself, what's a slide guitarist compared to any other sort of guitarist?
If I'd have known you were going to ask that, I would have brought a guitar and a slide. A slide is a bottleneck that goes over the little finger, and it makes the notation of a guitar more like a violin than plucked. So you can get a lot more emotion into it. If you drive it hard and you can be angry, you can be soft. And I'm in the process at the moment of recording a little piece with some gypsy violin because it's so similar. And it'll be a gypsy violin and a bottleneck together.
And how much in these 3 decades that you're celebrating here, how much have audiences changed in that time?
They got older. They got older, and now they're getting younger, because there was a period of my career which I didn't know about personally, where a lot of the dance DJs were taking some of our records and taking parts of our records and putting them into dance trance. So songs that, lovely little songs you wrote about your daughter, suddenly became rave hits. You know, and for me it was quite perplexing. But last year at the Albert Hall, we started to see these people move to the front during On the Beach and Josephine, and I honestly thought they'd come in the wrong door on the wrong night. They just looked too young.
Yeah.
So we've dragged a lot of young people lately.
Yeah.
Because I do think that the kids know the difference between a rock star and a guy who does it for the love of music. You know, people like me, Mark Knopfler, Van Morrison, Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, we're all people who live for music, not particularly to be rock stars.
Still so far to go. What else have you got to do? Down the road of your life, what else do you want to fit in?
There's still so many different types of music I want to explore. Like I was just saying about combining a slide guitar with a gypsy violin, in a kind of... some of the blues things and some of the Hungarian gypsy music is very, very similar.
We've also got, you're also an artist, aren't you, as well? We've got some of these paintings you did, you did while you were ill, didn't you? I
started painting when I was ill.
What's that called?
That is from the Latin Blues CD, from the Book of Blues.
Right.
We did a blue book of 8 different types of blues.
What's the next one? Let's take a look at the next one.
That's from country blues. So you got the big wide roads and all the different types of old, the type of guitars that the black guys used to play down in Alabama.
And
there's blue
what's
guitars
the city
everywhere.
there beyond the city over the hill?
They're 2 big bottlenecks, glass bottlenecks to the left and right, and it's a city of blue guitars. That funny little blue guitar has now become my sort of trademark.
Your logo?
Yeah, and it was what I used to draw for hours and hours in hospital.
Well, you're the pride of Middlesbrough, and it's a joy to have you here today. And good luck with all these albums and all these concerts, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you very much, David.
Chris Rea. In a moment, we'll find out just how you make life and death moral decisions in the blink of an eye with political philosopher Michael Sandel. And we'll survey the world's financial markets too.